Let's see. If anyone comes live with us, should we do a different color? Oh God. Oh God. Fuck around. Let's see if anybody joins us. And if so, that's a nice one. Okay. Do that one. See if anyone joins. What's that? Nope. Yep. What's that? Nope. Okay. Alright, I'm just waiting around. See if anyone joins me. Go on Twitter and say I'm live. I do that. I don't want to do that. That's weird. We'll see. Wolf. Wolf donkey. Ugh. Let's see. Remember to live chat. Okay. This is like my second time doing this. I see that 2 people are here, so hopefully somebody says they can hear me or they can comment. I'm pretty sure if I do, or is this where it's at? Live chat. Oh. Close. I think. I don't know. Well, anyways. I came on because I said I was going to come on last night. Hey, I wish I could stay, but I've got to go work. I went, oh, thanks. Bye, roses to ashes. Have a good day. No worries. I appreciate you jumping on real quick. So for anyone that is following, which is like 2 people, I said I was going to go live last night. I kind of keep saying I'm going to go, but there's a lot going on right now in my life. And again, like I said, I'm not making this channel about my personal life, but when you are on the internet, like parts of your personal life come out. So there's a lot of things going on underneath my roof right now, and I've not been in the mindset to even like discuss Scientology that much, protest Scientology, and jump on lives and talk about what's going on and what's been happening with other streamers or like other situations going on. So last night I said I made a post on Twitter I was going to go live, and it seemed to get engagement that people would go and watch, but then I just could not do it. I could not handle it. I had a really long day. I was mentally exhausted. I literally just wanted to come home, get under my heated blanket, and call it a night and take my medications and try to go to sleep. But basically, I'm not going to be on long myself either. I just wanted to do a live and kind of just catch up for like where like the last 2 weeks have been. And I probably don't even have everything, but I've been trying to catch up to the best of my ability. So anyone that wants to like chime in, please do. So as we know, I think we talked about this in the last live. Sorry, I think my days are, charges against Danny again were dropped. He was again not charged with, what was it? The like terroristic threats or like false imprisonment. I forgot. I just know they are asinine charges. But of course, Danny had to spend a couple days back in jail. They didn't even come through to the DA, and they were dropped. So that was really good. Again, those charges were dropped. However, he did have a letter that came in the mail that he has to attend like another court hearing at the end of this month, like next week, still pertaining to those charges. And he has like a officer, somebody that he has to go in front of again. I haven't had a chance to really read the full letter, but it basically he has to go back to the court, my understanding, even though the charges against him were dropped, which doesn't make any sense to me. He came on live, I think it was yesterday or the day before, to try to explain what that letter was and why he needs to go. He said he did talk to Streets, who said basically the judge is going to say this is a waste of our time, but I don't know if it's like another like, hey, you violated this ordinance, you need to still come back, even though the DA didn't bring charges and he got released from jail. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I know for Danny, when he was out here in Chicago, that whole thing, he did hear from the investigator here in Chicago again about needing to come out. Unfortunately, again, for Danny and Leah, they can't do anything via Zoom, via over the internet. They're literally making Danny come back to Chicago to give statements. And then I think some of other people that when we were here protesting that saw everything, they want us to give statements too, if able, and turn in like any footage that we have. I still have submitted a FOIA request from that day for my calls to the police and the return call, and I still have yet to hear. And I sent another follow-up, still haven't heard. And it's been, what, 4 weeks now, basically a month since we did the protest in Chicago. So again, that's crazy. What's another update since the last time I was live? Sorry if I'm not like as peppy. Like I said, a lot going on, but I did tell people I was going to go live, so I just kind of want to follow through. Streets and DOA, they both were served by La Poubelle, aka Francois, if I'm saying her name right. And they both had court this week. DOA went in person. Streets did not go in person because he said, hey, I'm supposed to get served this notice 5 days beforehand, and he served it 3 days beforehand, and my lawyer, his bomb-ass lawyer, as he says, decided to go on his behalf. DOA showed up with no representation. Again, I don't know the legal and the language, but my understanding is that they are going to do it in some sort of front of like more of like a committee type of judge, like not a real judge. So they decided to move it to an actual judge. I don't know. It got moved. Again, just a bunch of continuance. Which, if you've ever been in court, and I have, it's you don't just go to one court date usually and everything's squashed unless like charges are dropped like have. But things are going to continue going. It's going to be continued and continued and continued. So DOA's repping with the idea if he should get an attorney or not, if he should get some legal representation. I wish that him and Streets could just go on it together under Streets' lawyer, because Streets' lawyer does sound like a G. But I think Streets has the money to pay for, I think he said like the retainers, like $600 an hour or something like that. Like I'd be screwed. I'm lucky the couple of times I've had to have a lawyer. He's kind of just done it pro bono for certain things. But yeah, I'd be screwed. So I don't know if DOA could go and make some deal with Streets' lawyer. And I'm sure they've talked about it, but that's between them. But I don't know. I don't know what DOA is going to do. All I know is that they were served by La Poubelle. The accusations, they're calling Streets a gang leader. They're calling them rioters. They're calling them thugs. They're calling them just absolute. If you need to go to Streets and you need to go to DOA's lives, and if I had more energy and I'd been better prepared and set up, I would literally pull up the transcripts of what the like letter serving was. It's crazy. So yeah, they had that this week. Nothing really came out of it. I think the judge said this is basically a bunch of malarkey. This is a bunch of hearsay. You really haven't, La Poubelle and Fosse, you really haven't brought anything to the table to explain to us how these two individuals are as threatening as you claim them to be. So much so forth that there's no stipulation saying, well, this plays out, DOA, Streets, you two sirs may not go back to La Poubelle until this. So like basically she didn't get any sort of restraining order, any sort of temporary restraining order, nothing, because both have been back to La Poubelle since that hearing. So it's great. Yesterday, let's take it back. The other thing since I haven't gone live is some of the team, Mindy, DOA, Jess, Solomon, Aja, Serge's husband, I think. They went to a town hall meeting, I believe it was at City Hall, regarding the tent removal, and that was really interesting. It was very fast, and of course, what did La Poubelle? La Poubelle had somebody there to represent them, or Francois had somebody there to represent them, and they gave nobody time to talk. Audit LA was there via Zoom, and they would not. They're very dismissive of her, and she was very matter of fact. She was explaining that this tent is an issue for people like myself that are in a wheelchair, not me, but Audit LA, and this is an issue for us to be able to access the sidewalk. The tent is too far out. This is a hazard. And they're like, this is not what this meeting's about. You know, that's not what we're here for. And just like cut her off. And then that hearing about the tent removal, because this was not about the liquor license. It's not about extending the liquor license. It's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know there's a lot of confusion. This is specifically about the tent removal. They said, basically, we're going to go ahead and move this to November. I'm almost certain it was November. Everyone was in an uproar. DOA got up to talk. Somebody else got up to talk. I think it was Serge's husband got up to talk. And they basically told the whole crew, get out. You're being too disruptive. We don't want to have to hear what you have to say. Oh, and on top of that, guess what? Dumb mother effing officer was there. Officer White. Of course he was. Now someone's like, oh, he's always been part of the city board. No, he wasn't there. He was there to try to be an intimidation tactic, to be on another side of the Scientologists. So the fact that when Jess scanned over to Officer White, I was in her chat, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This man has balls for showing up. I would have, it was quite entertaining that he was there. Very suspicious, if I may add, but not surprising. So that town hall meeting too was a flop, unfortunately. And again, more continuances. Nothing's going to pretty much happen with that until November. So don't think that we're not going to keep on their necks. They'll still be there back in November. What else was I going to say? Oh, let's see. The police showed up again yesterday when DOA was protesting outside Big Blue, yesterday afternoon, morning. The police came because they said the Scientologists called because they were holding mass. And DOA was on a megaphone, ranting and raving, and not in a bad way. That's just my terminology, ranting and raving. Just, saying what he says, protesting, using his First Amendment right. And apparently the parishioners, they're not parishioners, the cults, they could hear him all the way inside the blue building. And so apparently some sort of mass was going on. And let's not even use the word mass. I grew up Roman Catholic. I know what a real frickin' mass is. And they said that DOA was being disruptive. So the police came and basically read him off a couple of ordinances and told him, you can't be on your bullhorn between this time and this time. They're in mass. And DOA makes, like, how am I supposed to know they're supposed to be in mass? Like, most real churches, like other like different organized religions and different churches, they'll have like a bulletin outside saying like, mass is at this time, mass is at that time, mass is at this time, or you can go on their website, mass is at this time, mass is at that time. So obviously we don't know when mass is. Like, he's like, oh, what, are we supposed to be a mind reader and know when they have mass and when we shouldn't be on the bullhorn? And even if we are, who cares? First Amendment, I'm outside. Like, what about their loud music that they're constantly blasting? Does that not interrupt their mass? That the music that they are constantly blasting? And they're like, what time is it? Well, basically from like 9 to noon and then like something like 1 to 3. So he's like, so you're telling me I can't be on my bullhorn from 9 to 3. And that's basically what they said. And then, yeah, we're giving you a warning. And if we have to come back out here again, basically there's going to be issues. And so then DOA's like, well, then I want to make a reverse about that loud music then that they're constantly blasting. And so the officer said he'd go back and talk to them. I think he came back. I stopped watching. But again, just the police messing around with the protesters, and Scientology has them in their pocket because they're paying LAPD big bucks to be their lapdogs. And then I didn't really watch anything. Oh, the last thing I did watch to kind of catch up is Jess. She is hilarious. She's so smart. She made, so I think everybody knows that the Aftermath Foundation, they put a big billboard in front of one of the Scientology buildings that said, like, call the Aftermath Foundation, like, you can't escape, with, like, the number. And that was up for a few days, and then the Scientologists put a bunch of, like, try to, like, strategically staged different cranes to like try to obscure the view of that aftermath billboard. And then I don't know, after like 2 days, 3 days of that, it was ripped down in like the middle of the night. And we're like, what the hell happened? And first we thought somebody just was kind of maybe vandalizing it, took it down, but then apparently it was the billboard organization, not the Aftermath Foundation, but whoever the Aftermath Foundation went through to sponsor that billboard. They got it taken down because they were saying they got so much pressure from Scientology, from the cult of Scientology, to have it removed. So they became cowards and put their little tail between their legs and took the sign down. And it was supposed to be, it was a 1-year contract, to keep that Aftermath Foundation sign with the phone number to call. So what Jess did yesterday, if you didn't catch it, it's so funny. Or just go to her Twitter. There's like a quick like snippet of it. She got some, billboards herself or whatever, like little, like the ones used in school, and wrote like "want out" and then the phone number for the Aftermath Foundation, question mark, and literally put them right in front of the big blue building, like where the big blue one that says Scientology that they advertised right there. It was hilarious, and people stopped by. People were taking pictures. You could see that there's cult members. They're coming out. They're looking. At one point, they thought that maybe the police were called. To my knowledge, the police never showed up. Jess was kind of like, should we just leave them there? But then we're like, no. As soon as you guys like leave for like an extended period of time, those will be gone in like a half a minute. So I'm telling you, it was insane. Like seeing all that. Again, that was hilarious. That was really smart on Jess's part. And so I hope they go out there more often and put that, and actually bigger signs. Like the signs she has were great, but she needs like those signs like times 10 so everyone can see. And then when it was getting dark, she kept her lights on the car, which were pretty funny as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of where we're at. I'm sure there's more. There's always something going on. I'm pretty active on Twitter. That's where you really find me the most. I do want to, again, build this channel up. I really, really do want to get a following. Again, I'm not out like everyone else is, but I do love connecting with you guys. I'm willing to do like anything that like people are asking me to do, just within reason. Explore like anything. I really do need to get back to the building in the city. Like I keep saying, but I said, unfortunately, there's been a lot going on in my personal life for the last like two and a half weeks. That's really kind of impeded me to go and do anything, and not to make this a sob story, but like just getting up and going to work right now, it's a lot. So, but I did want to come on live because I like being on live. I like the fact that I have access to go live. Like I want to utilize that, and I love that like people subscribe to me, and I want to like. But yeah, basically, like I said, the charges again against Danny were dropped, but he got some weird letter. He has to go back now. Streets and DOA, they got served by La Poubelle and Francois. And basically, the judge was like, this is a bunch of BS. You're not really proving anything. Like, I'm not going to grant you, like, any sort of emergency restraining order. And like I said, the boys were back out at La Poubelle that day. So, and that's also been continued. And DOA is thinking about getting a lawyer. Streets, as we know, has this amazing lawyer. Still wondering what's going on with Streets and what's his name? Oh God, 80s punk rock dude. Whatever. That'll be good. Like I said, then some of the Squirrel Squad, they went to that town hall meeting about the tent removal, and they were basically dismissed. And Officer White was there, so that was pretty conspicuous, if you ask me. And then yeah, that's about it. And then just some random bullshit drama between streamers. And I think just the one thing I'm going to say about that, and I'm not going to get into it because it's not my situation, is, everybody says this is not a group. We're all individuals. Absolutely. We are all individuals, from East Coast to West Coast, to the North, to the South, to everywhere in between. There's people protesting. The people in England, they're hilarious on L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. Oh my God, the English crack me up. We're all here for one cause. and it is to take down the Church of Scientology and hold them accountable and bring awareness. And some people have different prerogatives and some people have different initiative, and we're not all going to be on the same page of the same reason we're there, but I think we're all there for the same thing, is that to bring an initiative to this cult, to the human trafficking, to the fact that they are going after very vulnerable populations, immigrants, homeless people, people who are financially struggling, people who have mental health issues, people who are estranged from their families. They are praying, I always say this wrong, preying on them. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people who have left the cult, who have come out scarred, who have horror stories, but they've become stronger on the other side. And I think that that's something that we need to keep at the forefront. We need to keep the forefront what the cause is, what the mission is. And everyone's going to have their own way of going about it, and some people are going to agree with it, and some people are not going to agree with it. Some people are going to be a little bit more timid about their approach. Some people are going to be much more aggressive about their approach. Some people are going to be there sometimes, not often, here and there. But I just think it's important that we all remember that we are here for the same reason. And if we all start turning in on one another, that is exactly what Davey wants. That's exactly what Scientology wants. That is exactly what they want. They want us to see us eat ourselves from within. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. I just think, let bygones be bygones. Let the internet drama be away. Get away from it. Don't go on the Scientology Reddit post. It's so stupid. These people are keyboard warriors. They aren't doing anything. And whatever's happening with other people, don't let it affect you. I don't know. Just remember, we're kind. We're there to bring awareness. We're the ones that would help anyone escape, help anyone in any moment, educate. So just, I don't know, just be kind to one another when it comes to that, because I don't like seeing drama within this community, because that's exactly what Scientologists would want and do want. And they're probably laughing at it and thriving at it. And the more that it's made knowledge, the more that it's made public that that's happening, it's just not a good look for everybody. But all right, well, like I said, I just wanted to give a few quick updates. I might come live a little bit later. I know I said this page is just going to be for Scientology, but sometimes I just like to come on and just chat if I have a thought. And I'm sure I'll be watching people later. Maybe I'll want to jump on and watch something or say something, but that's it for now. It's already been about 20 minutes of boringness. So anyways, if you can just a little like would be nice, even if you didn't watch this whole thing. Help me boost up my views a little bit, maybe my follower count. It'd be nice to one day to get 500, but again, I've always said from the jump that this was not about like getting views or like getting followers or getting monetized or anything like that. But I just like to bring more awareness, because like I said, there's a small group of us here in Chicago, so I really want to build our Squirrel Squad here in Chicago up more too. And I don't know if we'll ever get to like the LA Squirrel Squad size, but it would be nice to build our crew up here too in Chicago a little bit. And I'd like to be part of that. So yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your morning or afternoon, or if you're just waking up on the West Coast, wherever you are, I hope you have a good day, night, or evening. All right.